Calvin Duncan, the Intimidator. The Intimidator, Calvin Duncan. Have you ever been afraid? I have. I remember my first fears. Fear of the dark and fear of the boogeyman. I believe when the sun comes down, the boogeyman comes out. And the boogeyman lived in the woods along the road that separates my mom's house from my grandma's house. I remember running up and down that road. Because for some reason, Mom would always need something from Grandma after dark. Many a nights I had to muster the courage to make the trip. I would begin with a brisk walk. And then I would go to a light jog. And just before reaching the woods, I would go into a full sprint and continue sprinting until I reached my grandmother's door. Grandma? Grandma? Boy? What's wrong with you? Why are you knocking like that? Grandma? The boogeyman is chasing me. Boy, get in this house. Ain't no such thing as a boogeyman. Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as a young boy, I believed without a doubt the boogeyman was chasing me. In fact, some nights I could hear his footsteps. That's the dangerous characteristic of fear. It seems so real. It controls us. It denies us. It prevents us. What is fear? Fear is the visceral response to imminent danger. Real or perceived. There are two types of fear. External and internal. Let's begin by talking about external fear. External fear is the fear that protects us from danger. A vicious dog is about to attack you. Your eyes dilate. Your heart palpitates. Your body goes into a protective state. External fear is a good fear because it protects us from danger. But there's another fear. Internal fear. The fear that we concoct in our minds. The fears that intimidate, dominate, and stagnate. The fears that prevent us from following our goals. The fears that keep us doubting ourselves, saying, I can't do it because of this, because of that. I remember a most recent experience with an internal fear. It was in 2005. It's Friday afternoon. Everyone was leaving because you know how we like to leave early on Fridays. The office was quiet. I was surfing the net, trying to find a restaurant to take my honey out. You see, she'd been working hard all week, and I wanted to surprise her. I didn't even consider Ruth Chris. And that's way outside of my comfort zone. And while I was typing, I looked up, and I saw my manager walking with the security guard. I'll never forget the sound of those keys jangling. And they were headed toward my desk. Have you ever lost control of your faculties? Well, as that water accumulated on the floor, the manager walked up to me and she said, Calvin, have you seen Johnny? The apprehension that I felt at that moment is an indication of what internal fear can do to you. But I'm here to tell you, internal fear can be surmounted. Internal fear is just a thick cloud, a formidable cloud, an opposing cloud, but it's only paper thin. All you have to do is step through and get to the other side. That's when you realize your fullest potential. That's when you realize what you're really made of. That's when you realize the blessings that were destined for you. But if you let internal fear control you, internal fear will annihilate your passions, forecast on your dreams, and destroy your goals. I've covered the two types of fear: external and internal. I say to you, fear has its place. Fear is intended to protect us from danger. Fear was not intended to protect us from success. Now, I'll admit, I'm still afraid of the boogeyman and the dark. And I can prove it when I go to my mom's house. I cannot walk that road and not run. But I still go. I face that fear because I want to get that piece of pie from Brown. Now, consciousness.